Good morning, my beautiful goddess. As you saw in the title, I'm going to talk about the culture of doing love spells and the potential curses that come when performing love spells. I'm going to end the video by giving you 3 conditions under which love spells are allowed. We are all born with free will. It is our choice to navigate the matrix. So take everything that I say with a grain of salt, because ultimately you are the goddess of your own reality.
Let me just interrupt you for just a second so you can click on the subscribe button and click on the bell icon.
I'm speaking from the perspective of ancient ancestral knowledge. I'm speaking through the eyes of someone who has been initiated in many schools of spirituality. Doing love spells is really frequent in the sort of new age witchcraft tradition. It's very popular. And with the rise of internet, and I come from a generation, I'm 42 years old, right? So I come from a generation where we saw the rise of the internet, and the internet has made it very democratic for everyone and anyone with a little bit of pseudo knowledge to come and basically show up as an expert, transforming the little that they know into formula to either make you buy stuff from them, and all of us come to sell you our expertise. If I want the best cake, I want to go to an amazing baker, right? So there's nothing wrong with loving, manifesting abundance and opulence through our life purpose, or through really legitimately coming and getting the value that we're giving. It's an exchange of energy, right? With my experience now, with the knowledge that I have, spiritual, occult, mystic, initiate-based knowledge, through my own life purpose, my own channeling, and actual channeling. And I told you, if you've done any type of initiation and you have not channeled, if you're not in connection directly with your guides, then that initiation is null. You're supposed to receive all of the messages and to develop your way of communicating with your divine family. Okay, so there's this quest of understanding the magic laws, understanding alchemy. And I see a lot of people have probably, I'm not one of them, but read books or seen videos, because I just told you about the internet, right? Seen videos about how to do, DIY spells. And now with TikTok, and I have daughters who are preteens, and I find it so dangerous that they're showing me now TikTok is doing these sort of like 3 seconds, 10-second spells, how dangerous it is, and how you don't even realize that you are cursing yourselves in ways you can't even imagine. Love spells. Okay, so you go to do a love spell because you want to claim someone as yours. You want the return of a lover, the return of a male partner, because I'm speaking from a perspective of being a woman, and you feel despair. You don't know what to do. You've lost touch with control of the situation, or you feel that the separation is because of some sort of attack that you've experienced, right? So you're going to someone who, from your perspective, masters the occult arts to bring your love back to you. First of all, everything that we're going to do in life has to be respectful and honoring of a soul contract. Now, if a soul contract is of karmic nature, it is no one's position, no one's job to change the nature of the contract, to basically change timelines in order to justify you feeling less than, you not having enough self-love, filled up within yourself to the point where you need someone to fill a gap, which is really what happens when you go and do a love spell most of the time.
Don't forget to buy my program called MOANING to Manifest. It's my white tantra program focusing on sacred moaning, basically the ritual that you have to do as a woman in the morning, in the evening, to connect to what I call the sacred pleasure principle, which is at the core of transformation, of alchemy. Basically, you want to have and be everything that you want, and at this point as a spiritual you feel blocked. It means that you have not connected to your sacred sex goddess. Sexual energy is what we are. So this is the program that I put together initially for my custom potion package clients. So they buy a potion that I made custom for them, and they get to practice their daily yoni womb tantric ritual, the principle of sacred moaning. It's a 35-day program going from one chakra to another, discovering the blocks that you have within you, becoming your own healer, and just really simply win at life. Be a spiritual, love the experience of being a spiritual, and connect with your own sacred goddess temple.
Another thing that you need to take into account is, who do you go to? But from what I've seen, my clients coming to me and telling me, you know, whenever I find something, a block, you know, on their energy or messages from their guides, I can tell that there are curses that are basically self-made, and a lot of them come from them having gone to practitioners, witches, spellcasters, who basically did the work that they needed to do and probably even got results, meaning that got the person back to them, but they didn't realize or they didn't know, either that the spellcaster or, you know, when these clients come to me, they didn't realize that it came with a price of karma.
Let me just interrupt you for just a second so you can click on the subscribe button and click on the bell icon.
There are 3 conditions under which you can do a love spell. The first condition is that there shouldn't be any third party involved. You only do a love spell if the person, and I'm speaking from a woman perspective, okay? I will never, ever, ever speak on behalf of a person who does not have a womb, which makes us women. As women, we are entitled to use alchemy and magic because it is part of our prerogative as holding a womb, the cave of magic, the altar where God hides within us. This is not the same entitlement that men having a phallus have. It's a different way of doing magic. As a woman, you're entitled to do magic, but you cannot perform a love spell if there is a third party, meaning that if that man is involved with someone else, with another energy. This is a video which is really broad. If you're part of my membership, you know I go very deep on that, on why we cannot mix fluids when it comes to intimacy. And I'm really being very superficial because YouTube is not the place for me to expose all of the secrets that you're supposed to know only through initiations. I'm sorry. The second thing is when you know for sure that this man is your husband, meaning that you are meant to be in a sacred union with that man. But maybe there have been blocks, maybe there's karma, maybe he has curses, family, generational, whatever. Maybe you also have stuff that you needed to go through that basically put you apart and that are bringing you back together. Maybe another woman put a curse on him or put something on him, but you know for sure this is your husband. Third condition, you cannot perform a love spell on multiple men within a lifetime. These 2 first conditions are met. You have chosen to be with that man. You're ready for the consequences that go with, you know, being with that man, positive and negative. You can't come back 2 years later and do a love spell on another man. It's one love spell unless you go through an actual healer, Native American or Central American or Amazonia or Africa or, you know, Celt. Basically, kill you spiritually, have you being reborn, and basically cut this, like it's a new slate, basically. One thing that you need to take into account is the fact that when you go to a practitioner, they're going to work with their own set of entities. Those entities ideally should be their ancestry. If I come to you as a healer, it means that I come from a lineage of healers, meaning that 200, 400 years ago, 1,000 years ago, I was already in the lineage of healers and priestesses and things like that. It is known in my lineage. I have seen my mother, my aunts, my grandmother, my great-grandmother. In all of these generations, I know for a fact these things have been done in my bloodline, and I have even received direct guidance, or I've seen myself with my eyes, my ancestor doing it with their own hands, practicing that specific magic, which is part of my bloodline. A lot of practitioners are going to call upon entities that sometimes they think of as divinities, but which are actually egregores. If I'm calling an entity that I think of as a goddess, but I use the name of an egregore, meaning their westernized name, not their name of origin, not their DNA name, I'm not dealing with that entity, that divinity. I am dealing with their egregore. I'm dealing with an astral photocopy of that entity, which means that it's a give and take. You're paying a practitioner, they're going to that entity, you don't know what soul contract or what vow they've made, what pact they've made with those entities, how they're paying those entities, and you don't know also what you're going to be paying. You may go for a love spell and actually sacrifice a child, or sacrifice a job, or sacrifice someone in your family, because it's a give and take. Especially with egregore entities. So think about it. This is a curse usually that you're putting onto yourself when you don't know which entities the spellcaster you're going to is working with. If you want to know more about this type of topic, definitely register for my membership. Bye.